I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for probably one of my, whoa! We'll try that again. I'm waiting for probably one of my best YouTube videos ever that I've done, maybe, to post. And it's taking forever, but I thought if I distract myself, well, the thing is, it got stuck on processing. It's already like uploaded, right? It's funny, like when I think of different factors, normally if I watch like a Tana Mojo video, my YouTube video will upload in like 4 seconds. My YouTube videos used to take like 24 hours to upload. Every time I would wait like 24 hours for my video to upload. Like normal everything, I would wait 24 hours for like a 20-minute video to upload. Normal internet, right? That was how it was for a long time. Then I found out if I put on a Tana Mojo video on the same YouTube account, it only takes like 10 minutes. I practiced other ways. If I watch the uploading video, if I watch the screen like eyes glued on it, and I meditate on the actual numbers that are visually on the screen, the numbers will start to change at a faster rate, especially if I don't want to sit there and watch the numbers, or if I have somewhere to be and I have somewhere to go. The universe will, proof of the universe, right? Proof of the divine consciousness, to be honest, because say I have somewhere to be, but I'm like, well, I don't want my YouTube video to take 24 hours to upload. I'm gonna sit here and watch it upload before I leave my house. Even if that ruins my day. Well, guess what? I can't have every day ruined. Turns out I'm too important to have every day ruined. So if I meditate, eyes open, watching the numbers, and the numbers start to count, right? The number of hours it's projected to take to upload starts to go down at a fast rate. Instead of 24 hours, it quickly... The thing is, YouTube does this thing, right? It gives you like schizophrenic like upload times as far as like what is the projected upload time. It really does. So projected time 24 hours. If I stare at it, right, it starts flashing numbers, which it always does, right? It's not uncommon for it to flash higher numbers at you and then lower numbers at you, which is why you have to really keep your head in the game if you're trying to like rapid fire manifest that that YouTube video uploading. Okay, so you're gonna watch it, it's gonna go from 24 hours, it's gonna go to 27, it's gonna go to 30 hours, it's gonna go to 500 hours. You have to not get scared. You have to say, no, I know that's not true. I'm gonna sit here and continue to watch it until it uploads. Then it flashes you 4 hours. You're like, okay, and then it flashes back to 24 hours. You're like, was that a glitch? Was that an error? Is my internet so good right now while I'm watching the screen? What's happening? Okay, keep your head in the game. Emotions, normal. You're not excited. You're not like scared. It goes 4 hours, 500 hours. You're like, okay, I'm not scared. Like, it's fine. I'm just gonna sit here and watch it upload. It's fine. It's fine. It's not weird. It's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna sit here and if it's 500 hours, I'm gonna be chained to this exact spot for 500 hours, and that's gonna be really terrible for the rest of my life, right? Like for the structure of my life and stuff. That's gonna be really weird. Might starve to death in the time. I don't know if I'm not up and like doing stuff, getting stuff I need. You know what I mean? Like, might die, but like I'm not gonna have my eyes not on the screen. Like, don't worry, it doesn't end up taking that much time. You watch it, it flashes back to 4 hours, 13 hours, 4 hours. You're like, okay, I think we're going in the right direction. Still can't tell. It goes 6 hours, 3 hours. You're like, I think this is going in a good direction. It goes 4 hours. You're like, okay, so maybe the new high is 4 hours. Then it does 5 hours. You're like, okay, I'm not scared. I'm not scared. It does like 2 hours. You're like, okay, this might be going well. 2 hours is a long time. 2 hours. You start to talk to it. You're like, 2 hours is a really long time. I need you to see if you can do better than that. Like, you start like talking to technology. You're like, I need you to do everything in your power. This cannot take 2 hours. Like, I don't have 2 hours to waste in my life. Like, you know, this is important. It does 1 hour. It says 1 hour. And this is all in the time frame of, like, literally what I'm telling you, like, rapidly, like, showing you new times, right? Again, if you close your phone, it probably would take the 500 hours, like, if that's what you leave it at, right? Or it would take the 24 hours, like, you're like, I don't have time to waste. Okay, you're staring at it, you're like, okay, it says 1 hour. It says 15 minutes. Then it says 4 hours. Then it says 24 hours. Then it says, you're like, I'm not scared, I'm not scared. It says 15 minutes again, you're like, okay, we have to stay on this side. Like, it says 1 hour. It says 20 minutes. You're like, where is this going? It says, like, 15 minutes. And you watch the percent of, like, how uploaded is it, right? Because that's going to be the more realistic, like, grounded number, because it can't go backwards. It can only go forwards. So as you're watching this, it might be 0% when it says 500 hours. You're like, okay, now it switched to 1% when it says 24 hours. Like, that didn't have to be real. It's probably never going to say 500 hours again for this exact video, right? You're like, this is going to be fine. You're like, maybe this is going to be fine. If putting on a Tana Mojo video did not upload that immediately, then you're going to meditate on how to make the video upload fast while staring at the screen. Honestly, watching a Tana Mojo video, if you watch her video for like 15 minutes, your video will be uploaded. Well, at least that's my experience. Like, any length of video, it could be like 2 hours, that gets uploaded in like 15 minutes if I watch her video. But lately I need it to be faster than that. So after I got in the pattern of either taking time out of my day to watch a Tana Mojo video to make sure my video uploads safely, okay? Once I got in that pattern, and and also, like, if that doesn't work, meditating on the actual screen, like, I will not leave this exact spot until it works. Now my videos will upload in like 2 minutes or less. It might flash me like 24 hours or 500 hours, but I don't like take that seriously, and then it's not what happens. So there is a version of manifestation that works, but some of it is, I might be chained to this exact spot if it doesn't happen immediately, and like, too bad for me, you know. But then you might find that you're just too important to have that happen, because your life purpose and mission is like so much bigger than chaining yourself to one spot to meditate until the impending doom goes away, like, of whatever physical circumstances going on. The thing is, we can pretty much have a lot of things in our reality, but we're not willing to say, I will not leave this exact spot until it happens. Right? Like, at all cost. Most of us are not willing to say at all cost about anything, which is why most of our, oh, I wish that would happen, just stays at I wish that would happen. Because what is it really worth? Like, it's almost like a sacrifice, right? It's like, how big of a sacrifice did you make to make sure it was going to happen? Well, I was willing to sacrifice this much of my time. I was going to enjoy watching Tana Mojo's video anyway, so I don't really care, but like, you know what I mean? Like, what I mean is, like, you do something, it's like, does she have like some kind of power to make that happen? You know what I mean? Is like part of the question that you might wonder about. You might be like, what's that? You know, like, what's going on? But yeah. So yeah, it's like, wait, chapstick, but yeah. Those are the hacks that I do. Although I have one live stream that is still not uploaded. It's taken like 3 months, and it's still technically, it says like will begin processing shortly. Everything else, and I have thousands of videos, and I post like 2-hour videos like every single day, right? Those upload in like 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes, right? Because I'm sitting there meditating on the screen. And if that doesn't work, I'm watching a Tana Mojo video to make sure my video uploads and it works, or vice versa, like one after the other, right? Like different like things, like I'm either meditating or watching one of her videos. Like, I have not found another YouTube channel that does that. Make sure that like another YouTube channel that makes sure that your video will upload if you watch it. So I don't know if YouTube has a thing with like, if somebody's watched her videos recently, or if they're currently watching it, like if they have a video that needs to be uploaded, it gets uploaded. So I don't know if that's part of the algorithm, like built in. I know that it seems like they may have done something where like her videos are not considered, I don't know how to explain it. Like it seems like she can say anything in her videos or do anything in her videos and it doesn't get like taken down, or it isn't seen as like hazardous material, right? I mean, maybe she feels like demonetized or age restricted or something, but the video isn't taken down, and it seems to be that like if a random person did that, their video would be like taken down or like take forever to upload, or like it wouldn't work, or it'd get like messed up, right? So I don't know, but I think they might have like programmed like a little portion of the algorithm around her to be like, technically you can say anything and it's taken as a joke, right? So I don't know if it's an actual built-in portion of the algorithm or just like an energy thing, right? Like a energy manifestation thing. Again, if it would contribute to other people's videos uploading, and if that's built into the algorithm, or if it's a coincidence or an energy thing, a manifestation thing, right? But I wanted to bring that up. But again, yeah, to have a power where you can kind of sit there and meditate on a YouTube video uploading and make sure that it uploads in time is pretty cool. Kind of useful, I guess, but I get it, no one will believe it, whatever, you know? But like, I'm a really big believer that it's possible to just like have Wi-Fi because you were like meditating or something. Like I believe in some weird stuff. I believe in like, can you meditate and like a slice of chocolate cake shows up on your altar because you were meditating for like 15 hours on that, right? You're like, I will not leave this spot until it happens. Like, I kind of believe in that. I mean, obviously you go to like the bathroom, you don't like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Not like that, but like your meditation like is like so like focused. You're like, I will like, if I don't leave my house for like, if I don't leave my house for this much time, then I better get this in exchange for it. Like almost like a weird like universe, like you gotta do better. Like I am willing to make this level of a sacrifice, and you know what that means. Like and then sometimes you get lucky, like you still just only got lucky, and it's like unexplainable when it does work, right? You know what I mean? And it's like, if any of this is true, that's like a hardcore proof of like the universe is like looking out for you, or like it's possible to just do manifestation with like the Matrix. But like, you know. Or people could have a lot more to question about why the algorithm would have certain content creators, like recent audiences, have videos uploaded faster, especially if they're more risky, like creator and audience, right? Like, that's a whole other can of energy to open, right? That's a whole other like category of like, what does that even mean? What's happening? You know? Thoughts, right? Magical. Anyway, I also think that in relation to my last video where I sort of talked about writing and sort of like, how do I make sure that I'm writing good lyrics that are sort of meeting the needs of what I want the story to be, but also lyrics that impress me with my own consciousness and ability, right? Because when you practice, first of all, magic, but also when you practice writing and when you practice things that make you look intelligent, you always want to like impress yourself and surprise yourself with like how intelligent you are. And like I spend a lot of time making sure that, you know, I'm in alignment with what feels like it carries the most meaning just in everyday life, but like I don't want to miss opportunities that feel important to me, and I don't want to, you know, be out of the way of like where the good energy actually is. And like I want to make sure I'm tuned in, like I want to make sure that I'm hitting the marks that I imagined being there, or that I didn't even know I imagined being there. It's like if the universe handed you a test paper, what kind of grade did you get? And can you even identify what the questions are? Right? So if the universe handed you an assignment, what letter grade did you get on it? Like, did you even identify at which moment in your life the universe handed you that test paper? And what if that's a physical creation that doesn't even exist yet, that you have to like accomplish and create, and does it have to be up to a certain standard, and what does that mean to you? Right? Yeah, so I think I wanted to talk a lot about like what it means to know what songs to write, or like which album is next, or like why, right? And I think sometimes who you look up to, maybe in your life, plays a role in what kind of artist you want to be. Oh, there's a mosquito on my curtain. Can I get it? I didn't get it. It went somewhere, but well, yeah. I think sometimes there's a particular story I want to tell, or a particular like ominous, weird question I want to like almost ask the audience, or sometimes I just have an idea hit my mind and I start hearing like what the song would be. I could hear like myself singing it, and it'll be like in the exact way that like my own voice actually is, which is amazing, right? It's like those ironic like, oh, I sort of just heard like in my mind exactly what the song is supposed to sound like, and the song doesn't exist yet, and it's like in my vocal ability, right? Like within my abilities of like, what can this be like? Beautiful moments where it's like, well, you definitely have spirit guides, or somebody in a spiritual context wrote that for you, catered to you specifically, and didn't give it to anybody else, because you think about like the astronomical possibilities of like, what could that possibly mean? This isn't a song that somebody else out there also just received the idea of, right? When you want to think about like the complexity of what kind of God could have just given you this idea, well, what are some of the intricacies in making sure that that's an original idea, not just an idea you accidentally had get caught in your mind? It's really important to not have certain songs and pieces of other people's lyrics and songs get stuck in your mind so much that you cannot write your own, right? But you also need to be able to have the right songs to look up to. You have to make sure you put the right amount of emphasis on, you know, which moments within certain songs really carried the meaning of the song the most. It's so important to know, if you hear somebody strumming like a guitar, well, how do you translate that into words? How do you translate that? You know what I mean? Like, you never want to get copyrighted, but if you hear somebody strum a guitar and that makes you feel a certain way, and the song of how it made you feel is not out yet and doesn't exist yet, whoa, right? Then you just got handed your next song because of how magical they came across in that moment. You meet somebody and like their appearance, their beauty is like so impossible, and you can't stop thinking about it, and words just come to your mind, right? Do the words come to your mind with a particular melody? Or somebody breaks your heart, or you start to like imagine scenarios of them breaking your heart, and you're like, well, I know you didn't really do this, but am I supposed to believe this? Am I not supposed to believe it? Am I supposed to think that you're actually the type of person who would have done this? Or is that my next song? It's like, sometimes you don't know, are you psychic? Do you just have mental issues? Or is that what your next song is? And I love to think about moments, like universal sort of moments regarding like the universe itself, right? Not just things that carry along to every person, because you think about the evolution of a soul, right? Or I do. And I think some of the things that like in your first few incarnations were a once in a lifetime, I can't believe something really bad or something really good happened and it made me feel a certain type of way, but those mental structures of like, well, that can only happen once in a lifetime, but then your soul matures in like other lifetimes and you have things like that happen all the time. Well, how can you capture some of those moments and give them back to your audience regarding like regardless of the level that their soul is currently at? So it's like, how can I give back to you the moments that you may still currently believe are supposed to be once in a lifetime moments? It's sort of like how right now we have phones, we have cell phones. Well, you experiencing the evolution of technology in all of your past lives may have been, you know, some giant once in a lifetime moment where technology really alters for you. And so your soul may carry a memory where it's like, you know, we always have like some basic level of technology, but it's really a once in a lifetime thing when technology really erupts in your favor and you get to witness something that wasn't supposed to be there or wasn't supposed to make sense. Well, now every day you have a cell phone, you can go on apps, you can go on dating apps, you can go on social media, you can like play a game on your phone, you could have a weird glitch with technology. Some of these don't have to, you know, we have Wi-Fi. We could say, how mystical and weird is it that we have Wi-Fi? We have Bluetooth. What the fuck is that? You know what I mean? Like, you have so much you can think about. You have so much you can feed your soul based on that. But we can sort of capture, there's other versions of, well, most of the time this is like a once in a lifetime thing, right? If you think about like a spiritual coincidence, you see the right person at the right time and you don't understand how you were both in the same place at the same time, and like that doesn't normally happen. Or, you know, you go somewhere, you're like, I think I just saw like the hottest person on the planet, right? For some people. Or, you know what I mean? You feel like you had a connection with your spirit guides and you were like, wait, I didn't even know that was real. I didn't know that was possible. Or is my mind broken in some weird way, right? So those are some of the forms of like what I think of like, is this a once in a lifetime? Or you see like a giant omen before you die or something, right? Like, and that's what you remember the most. Or you thought you saw a ghost for a second. Well, that could be a once in a lifetime, which would be really unfortunate because that means that's probably the height of your spiritual understanding in the entire lifetime before you die. So some of these are like, how can I take something that for somebody who's on like a like younger number of lifetimes, right? For you, it might still be once in a lifetime to have this kind of experience with this level of importance on it, right? How can I give this back to you as many times as possible and sort of say like, you can experience this as much as you want and it doesn't have to be once in a lifetime anymore. Like almost like giving you what it would mean to be at like a higher level of like number of lifetimes. Not like insulting them, but it's like, how can I give back to you the part that you're sort of starved of, right? Like I think of a lot when I think of what songs matter to write and like, what does that mean? It doesn't mean we don't also have just the ones that are fun or just the ones that like, if I were ever like a mainstream artist, like maybe everyone would know that one, you know what I mean? Like I definitely think about doing those also. But I think about sometimes within those ones, what kind of story can I still tell? You know, like I still value that. But I think a lot about like, how can I give back to you something that you might feel starved of? If you were still in the impression that many things are a once in a lifetime thing that don't actually have to be. I think about, I guess there's certain like mental paradoxes of like, what if you were trapped in a mirror and you couldn't say anything and you saw something really horrible and really bad happen, right? But you can't say anything. And so how can I say to you, I was trapped in the mirror when I saw you do this, and like now you've changed the way that I see people forever. Sort of like, I guess if you had, I don't know, maybe if somebody had recently died and like now they find out the secrets of like everything that was happening while they were alive, and like they could have interfered with so many things but like they couldn't, and like what would you say if you were that little like piece of somebody's soul trapped in like a mirror, for example, and like now you wish you could have been there to stop this event or that event, right? Like I think of like global tragedies or like people being silenced in global tragedies, or like I think of significant turning points in consciousness, right? It's like I had this thought and it changed me forever, and like I'm never gonna understand how much it changed me forever. And like I think about some of those spaces people's minds can get trapped in too, where like they might believe it too much, they might believe that reality is like too real, or they might never see significant evidence that reality feels real to begin with, so now they're pretty sure they're in a simulation. And I think about different levels within that, right? I always loved, blood, arteries, bones, like I loved fingerprints, like almost like murder investigation evidence, right? Or also example of significant turning point. It's like I did everything right, but I left this piece of evidence exactly where this person found it, and they had like a spirit guide in their brain tell them exactly what it meant. But what if it was without my consent that spirit guide knew exactly what it meant? But it's also like, was I in the right or was I in the wrong? And what are some of the paradoxes about why I might have been in the right or in the wrong? Like I really love some of those like weird investigations, right? But also almost like the narcissism of like a serial killer who's pretty sure they're not wrong, like or like you can't prove to me that I'm in the wrong, right? I love some of those. Yeah, which obviously I don't mind telling you, because your own version would always be different, because we're still different people. So just because people can, I'm a big believer every time people sort of post something about themselves on the internet, by being witnessed, it like upgrades you, right? I kind of believe in that a lot, that like there's some kind of like exchange in energy where the part of you that you're willing to let people see is the part of you that upgrades by being seen to that degree. I definitely believe in that. What are some other ones? Well, I love the hatred, like that gut-wrenching hatred of like weddings, but that doesn't mean I actually think weddings are like terrible. But I think like, what if like, I love that like storyline of like, what if you had only 3 seconds to tell somebody like they're marrying the wrong person, but you can't prove it, but do you have a right to tell them at all? But what if you know for a fact? It's like, what if you didn't really know what tarot cards were, but you pulled out a card and you're like, oh, is this a significant moment that like, if I pulled out the Tower card for like how's their wedding gonna go, do I tell them or do I not tell them? Like I love the like the weighing morality of like, what if I did unconditionally believe that this spiritual moment is true, but like, is it morally right or wrong to tell them? Because our actual reality is a little bit more the watered down, like whatever, they'll figure it out version, you know what I mean? It's not so like they'll die if they go into this wedding, like but what if you could fully believe that? And what if you were not only believing that but correct in believing that? What if you can tell that it's an accurate prediction? Do you tell them or do you not? Well, what if that's like the most important person ever to you and you have to tell them, right? Like I think about some of those, and like, what does it mean to tell them? What does it not mean? Like, how would you go about telling them? I love some of those ways of creating art, and a million other ones. Sometimes I just want it to be a fun story that I'm telling, sometimes I want it to be a fun, I love also like weather patterns, and like I love casting magic as a song. I love using artwork to convey a message combined. Like I'll use artwork that either contradicts or adds to the story in some crazy unique way, once the lyrics of the song and the actual sound of the song are like combined with the artwork in the background. Like I love like oh, but did you catch this version of the story? Did you catch like what I didn't tell you in words that I'm trying to say? Like I love adding levels to understanding of it, because you can interpret just the lyrics, or you can interpret my voice with the lyrics, right? I love to convey parts of the story that I didn't tell you using my voice. So I'll choose certain sounds that tell you like the actual emotion of the lyrics, because sometimes it can be sort of different from what the lyrics just sound like they're saying. So I love like not just clever lyrics, but I love when my voice is telling you like, you know, some crazy thing that you didn't know about the lyrics or you didn't realize, and I'll repeat certain things that are like so important to me. I'm like, you guys got this part, right? Like, you know this part, like like I'm so obsessed with this part of the song that I want to make sure you guys understood. Like, I want to make sure that like you guys knew how important this part is. Like, I definitely do that with like the repeated lyrics. It's like I'm really communicating something with this part. Like, I'm gonna repeat these lyrics, this part of the lyrics, as much as I need to like get the message across, like how meaningful this part is. I mean, sometimes there's really meaningful parts that I only say like one time, but I sort of try to like upgrade it, you know. Which, I mean, it almost sounds kind of like, is it obvious that I'm giving you context? But at the same time, it doesn't hurt to say it because of how much I really think about like every like different kind of sound that can be made with those exact words, right? And like, I don't know, ways to clue you in on things that I wasn't gonna just say, layered with the artwork. So yeah. And like, on the topic of magical thinking, right? I've actually written and or recorded so many songs while actively trying to achieve like pyrokinesis. So I'll literally be like looking into a candle, sometimes like singing into the candle, not so that my breath is like doing anything like far enough away, but like so like in a meditation about it, right? Like, or I'll be like, you know, trying to manifest something, or I'll be like trying to like levitate, you know what I mean? Like, actually, like I'll be like trying to like, I can't levitate, but like I'll be like trying to levitate, or I'm like, or is there a specific set of words that could give me the ability to like teleport, and a specific style of singing that like if I did it would give me the ability to teleport, right? Or telekinesis, is there a specific set of words that would allow me to levitate like tinfoil? Or sometimes I'll be literally meditating, trying to like manifest like chocolate cake onto my altar. I know it's not about how I could just buy it. It's not about that. It's actually it's not about that. It's about like, what if I incarnated somewhere where I just didn't have access to it? Well, how would I make sure that like if I went and had that lifetime, that I would know how to create it? Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, like I think like that, so that I'm like, well, how could I make sure? Or if there were a giant spider and I have to somehow use a sword to like stab it to kill it, what if I don't have a sword? How am I going to, is there a specific set of words and style of singing combined that can create a sword so I can fight this giant spider? Or is it going to be a song, or not a song, like an album instead of a song, right? Is it going to be like an album of, you have to think of the worth of it. Is it going to be like one song does that? Is it going to be a certain duration of singing? Or is it going to be some kind of ritual I did before and after creating the song? Or is it going to be an entire album, right? Is it going to be like, I put out 80 songs with this purpose so that if I were ever in a dimension where there's a giant spider, I know that I can sing this song and create a sword, and it'll like physically exist, and then I can kill the giant spider and save the day. Like, I think about that, right? Or like, what if I were somewhere where there's only ugly clothing? How would I be able to use my writing and my words and my singing to create an outfit that I actually like, just using my ability that I'm working on? And I think when I first started, I was definitely thinking about like, you know what I mean, like ways people can levitate while they're singing, but maybe they stop levitating as soon as they're not singing anymore, like physically, like off the ground, right? like I was thinking, literally like legs crossed, like meditating, like I was thinking of ways people can do that. And then can you levitate other objects during the time that you're singing, but it stops working when you're not singing? Like I was thinking of like different ways to do that, right? So name a supernatural power. If it occurred to me, I might have made a song trying to master it. I just didn't really get anything out of it in our 3D reality because I haven't done enough yet. But like, I'm like fingers crossed I get something someday, you know what I mean? Because I feel like I'm like trying. I think sometimes I had a few songs that sounded a little bit like necromancy, so you know what I mean? But I've also had that weird paradox where if you meditate looking in the mirror, eventually you can have this thought of like the duration of time that you were looking in the mirror. What if necromancy was technically happening, but it was like coming to get you? So you could like, in a way, so you could be like, it's like the paradox of like, if you looked in the mirror for too long, like it would have like showed up, like a creature would have crawled out of a grave, right? Dead. And it would like come to get you. But you're not testing your magic for the longest amount of time you could possibly do it if you don't go on for so long until it could finally get you. Do you know what I'm like? You're not trying to actually be like eaten by a zombie, but did you test your magic if it didn't almost happen to make yourself stronger? But like, did you know to stop at the right time? Does that make sense? Okay. We'll see. That's you. That little tiny person is you. You're well, that doesn't look like a mirror. We're gonna fix that, okay? We're gonna fix that. That's not what I meant. I could've just used the eraser. Okay. You're looking in the mirror, okay? Oh, what? R.I.P. Here's you, you're looking in the mirror, okay? Here's a gravestone. So you start looking in the mirror, okay? Now, person starts crawling out of the grave while you're looking in the mirror. For like, say we're like adding time, little plus, we're adding time of you looking in the mirror. Now, person crawled out of the grave, they made it to here. Okay, we're like, okay, they made it here. You add more time of you still staring in the mirror. This is like when they talk about people being cursed for like narcissism, right? When they like stare in the mirror in like mythology sometimes. Okay, so now we're adding more time to you staring at the mirror. So now little person who crawled out of the grave is like that much closer to you. We keep adding time because you don't stop. It gets closer. Right? It gets even closer. So now it's like all the way over here. Now, here's your house, right? So if right now you stop looking in the mirror, the paradox is that this one just evaporates and it ends up actually having always been back in the grave because it never happened. That's like the paradox, right? So if you stop looking in the mirror, this one evaporates. All of the potential of this currently happening evaporates, and it's actually still technically in the grave. Okay? But if you don't stop, and then it never entered your house. But if you don't stop and you keep adding time, it starts getting so close that it could even be watching you from outside the window. Some people are gonna be scared of mirrors. Okay. So if you keep adding time because you start to feel something creepy watching you back, it's so much darker outside than it normally is. That actually scared me. Normally I have pretty good night vision and I can see like cars outside. It was like so dark out that like I could not. And again, like normally it's never this dark out at any time of the day or any time of the night. Because there's like street lights a little bit, you know, there's like, normally it's like we're doing like dark blue sky. Right now we're doing like not only black sky but black everything. So I was just like night vision blocks completely, okay? For the story, a little creepy. Okay, but if we added more time, maybe it enters your house and like eats you or something, or you see it. It like taps you on the shoulder. You turn around and it evaporates. Something like that, right? But again, if you stopped and it was only right here, you tested your magic so much that you were so strong that it made it to here by only you looking in the mirror. I'm like, don't look in the mirror at nighttime, I don't know. But yeah, if you kept looking in the mirror and didn't care that something scary was happening or that you could feel that and it walks in your house, then that's just on you and you get like eaten or something. So I think about that. Which has nothing to do with song lyrics, but how are you gonna fight one of those off? Probably creating a sword by singing alone and putting the right words together to sing. Right? That's weird. Anyway, I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.